I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dane Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain. And we are, of course, your fuck buddies.
We're a sex and dating advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we are the boys of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. We are here. We answer questions we find either online or from our wonderful boys and girls and everything in between of summer listeners, and we answer them right here, right now, in your ears, sometimes on stage. When's the show, Dane? It's coming up this week, I believe.
Thursday.
This Thursday, the 19th, Black Sheep Cocktail Lounge, Toronto, 8 p.m. $10 tickets, $15 VIP tickets, which will snag you a drink as well, which is the best price for anything in the city. I got a beer the other day, and it was $11.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm fucking saying. So you get some fucking nice-ass rosé and sit down and watch us do this live with two incredibly special guests for $15. It may not be rosé.
I was going to say, let's not commit to what it actually is. But you will get an alcoholic beverage,
drink, yeah.
or a mocktail if you don't drink. We're inclusive.
We're inclusive, and we got you. And you should get us by coming to see us and our friends Trevor Campbell and Tim Lagman, because it's going to be a fucking blast.
I'm preparing things, and I find them funny. I don't know if the game will be funny itself, but I've been having an absolute blast putting it together. And if you've been
That's
to our...
a bad endorsement, actually, Dane. That makes the show sound not good.
Hey,
could you do a better job? Go.
I'm going to have the best time of my life, and I don't care if you do.
God damn it, Dane.
Hey, speaking of this, did you know the band in Love Actually? Do you know why they were a real band? Do you know why they didn't?
The kids? The kids band? Oh no, like the old man band?
Yeah.
Sure.
So apparently, because Love Actually, I guess, came out around like 9/11, and during a press thing, they were being interviewed about 9/11. And one of the band members kept being like, I don't like this whole New York thing is getting like blown out of proportion. They're killing elephants and whales. Why don't we care about the whales that are being killed? And the fucking the other band member's like, hey, Ted, shut the fuck up. He just kept being like, no, the elephants are more important than this terrorist attack that happened in New York. And he just kept doing it. And it's like just tanked their career because this man cared more about fucking whales than 9/11.
You know what? They should have given us that spot instead. We should have been in Love Actually. We wouldn't have squandered it. It would have been, we'd be wealthy by now.
We didn't even know each other back then. We were in high school.
It's true.
You might have still been in like middle school.
I was still unborn at that point. It's not true. It's not true at all.
I was going to say,
but the look on Dane's face as he tried to take a drink when that happened was worth it, guys. Come to the show. It's going to be 4 Canadian Podcast Award winners on stage for the price of 2.
Yeah. That's true.
We should double the price because we have doubled the amount of Canadian Podcast Award winners. Okay, guys, it's going to be fun. Come to it. Dane, do you have anything to say before I launch into a beautiful list of the things we'll be discussing this week?
I don't think so.
Perfect. This week, we're going to talk about boyfriend hates I have a permanent bracelet with my 2 best friends.
Dick is constantly hard.
Is it really that weird for a guy to not try to get laid on the first date?
And hole preferences.
Interesting. Now, tense for the algorithm. Gotta put the arm in the camera.
I can't go that far.
It's all right. You gotta get the zoom. All right. This is by Durian Forsaken 8092. My 26-year-old female boyfriend, 28-year-old male, hates that I have a permanent bracelet with my 2 best friends, but I don't see the issue. Does anyone have advice on the situation? I got a permanent bracelet with my 2 high school best friends a couple of years ago when we were all in the same city. We all live in different cities now as adults. We have reunion trips every year or so. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years now. He has made his dislike for the idea clear then, but I didn't think too much of it since I was excited and thought the idea was cute. He hadn't said much about it for a while, but I recently made a comment that it stretched out too much to the point I could slip it off, so I had to go get it resized, and he said, or just take it off and never put it back on. Thought he was joking, but he proceeded to go off about how weird it was I wear it and how I give my friends too much weight by doing that. I never wear anything he gives me every day. I told him I do wear the things he gives me. This is the only piece I have I don't ever take off because it's permanent. So I can shower with it and sleep without ruining it or losing it. I always lose jewelry, so I tend to wear pieces I care about less frequently, so don't get lost, and cheaper pieces I don't care about in case I do lose them. He said if he got me something I could sleep and shower in, I would wear it every day. Or I said if he got something I could sleep and shower in, I would wear it every day. He said it only makes sense to have something on my body every day that's related to my family or him. He said if roles reversed, I would also hate it. But that's not true. I don't think it's a big deal. It's not like a tattoo or something actually permanent. I took the bracelet off for now, but I do really like having it. Does anyone have advice on how to handle this situation? Is it weird to have this bracelet with my friends? I felt really sure it isn't weird and couldn't be an issue, but the more I think about it, the more I'm questioning it. Any insight is appreciated? Edit for context. The friends are girls. He doesn't mind one of them, but he actively dislikes the other one because of her lifestyle choices. Nothing detrimental. He just doesn't agree or support. That's a whole different combo. Edit again. The lifestyle choices, she likes to drink and go to bars. Nothing about racism or sexuality. Edit again. It's a thin gold chain that sits on my wrist. No charms or embellishments.
Okay, I'm glad. I was like, what the fuck is a permanent bracelet?
Yeah, have you not seen them? They're like,
no.
You know, like a bracelet usually has a clasp or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a metal thing that they like literally like fuse onto
and
your
then like an arcane rune that is locked on. You have to kill the 5 bosses that were present at the time of forging in order to break your bonds.
Actually, they changed that. You just have to ring 2 bells now.
Oh.
Yeah, but one's in the north past a bunch of bosses. So it's like
they
were like, hey, we don't condone killing, but like you kind of have to kill
you still
them
have to
anyway.
go through them. Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess you could try like a non-lethal, but like stealth is really hard to spec these days. And also like they're kind of dicks. So if you try to talk to them, they just try to fight you anyway. The music starts and you're like, oh.
Well, there's the choir. I guess we're doing this.
It's kind of weird when you're like trying to talk through them and the choir's there just like real fucking like just ready to go.
Just fucking, you could just see the Latin bubbling up into their
yeah,
for sure. I don't remember the question. I just want to talk about this fake Dark Souls
Tattered
world.
one. Claire and Rowena have offended you. You must ring the 2 bells. Or tattered one, your boyfriend sucks shit and
well, this is kind of what I was going to say. It was like this bracelet may be permanent, but this fucking douchebag and your relationship with him is not. It's actually quite
should it be
malleable, in fact, in the sense that you should take the clasp of this man and undo him from your life.
Ring his 2 bells.
Yeah, that does
one
sound,
the north, one the south.
Yeah, that does sound kind of vaguely
like we're advocating for violence,
and also like it does kind of sound sexual as well, a little bit. But also,
if someone wants to lightly ring my lower bells, I can enjoy it upon occasion.
Yeah. This is so. I mean, like it's gaslighting 101 of like people being like, you shouldn't put any weight on your friends. I'm sorry, but when you date someone, they are, and I'm not trying to sound like a dick here, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but like depending on how new the relationship is, you are lower on the totem. You are lower on the like hierarchy of importance, right? Like friends and family are your constants. Romantic interests kind of like come and go and they ebb and flow and they change and you break up and whatever. But it's like, if you have a solid group of friends that you are considering getting a permanent anything with, whether it is a tattoo or whatever, if you have friends that you're that close with, the likelihood that you guys are going to break up over the likelihood of you breaking up with a romantic partner are astronomically different. So,
and even later on, when you have like a long-term like life partner, that doesn't mean you just are like, oh, friends don't matter. You know what I mean? Like that's not healthy. It's not good. And you shouldn't want that, let alone your partner shouldn't want that. You know what I mean? Like we're not here to be like, in terms of importance, it's family, then partner, then blah, because I don't think that's helpful. And I also think it's bullshit. Some people's family sucks, right? Some people's friends are incredible. Some people like put too much weight on their partner. You know what I mean? Like
it should be like a horizontal plane as opposed to a vertical one, right? Where it's like
exactly
they're different levels of importance. Whereas like you said, like a family could be shit, but there's still an importance to that element, whether it's of non-importance, if that makes sense. But like, you're right. Like it shouldn't be like a ranking system because my friends are very important to me in a much different way that my partner is important to me.
Yes. And that's the thing. It's like you're no less important than my partner. You know what I mean? And I don't think that will ever change. I'm not going to hit a point where it's like, oh, it's been It's actually been 8 years, so you're kind of less important to me now.
We're gonna slot you down into rank 7 here, and
Did you ever have MySpace when they made you rank your friends?
the top 5 or whatever.
Yeah, that's
No,
wild, man.
I will say I never had a MySpace account.
Damn.
I think I got one very late into the game when it was like in its dying throes for a band that I was kind of in or starting.
It's just a wild move, and I really think Gen Z could benefit from having to go through the turmoil of ranking your friends. And like when people would like change it, that's the worst. You're like, oh, something happened.
Yeah.
Because now things have changed, and I'm
the
number
top
3
5.
now. Or, I know I've been placed in 1 because they're pissed at number 2, who's really still 1, but they want them to feel it.
I wish I could remember the name of the social media website that I used, like kind of in lieu of.
Bebo.
No, it was.
Bebo was the big Irish one.
I don't remember what it was, but it was like it was very similar to MySpace, in which you could like customize your page. Like you could like different fonts and layouts.
Throw in your janky HTML.
Yeah.
Did it also play songs the second? That was a nightmare choice.
No, unfortunately, there was no.
And we all did
music.
It's great because you'd go onto a page, immediately be assailed by whatever they put on there, and then the like terrible text color and background pattern.
Yeah, the flaming
it would
text
just
rotating around that you made on flamingtext.com.
Yeah, there's like moving bananas in the background,
Yeah.
and your like font is all bright pink, and you're just like, cool, this hurts every sense.
Yeah.
The only thing it didn't do was like stab you.
I think there is a lost art to the absolute unhinged creativity of like early day websites, like GeoCities websites. I think there is something that, like, I would love to know how many GeoCities websites existed at a time in which there was a animated GIF of like under construction or coming soon. Like how many people were like, I'm going to make the next big website. Because I thought that when I made my website, I was like, this is it. This is going to be it, boys. I'm not going to have a domain name. It will be whatever my fucking username is, .geocities.com. And it will be huge. And it will just be stolen content from the other websites that are huge.
We could have had it all, and we went and ruined it. Okay, back to the question. This level of insecurity is shitty. Also, the fact that your boyfriend's like, she drinks, she goes to bars, not for me. Like, come on.
Yeah, this guy sounds like he's zero amounts of fun.
He sounds like a stereotypical, like if me and Dame were thrown in a room right now and we were like, hey, write a romantic comedy, and your partner has to have like the lamest, or like the female lead has to have the lamest boyfriend imaginable. We'd start off with this scene. It'd be like, you have a permanent bracelet with your 2 best friends from college? Oh, that should be with me. Your body is my real estate.
Oh, you're hanging out with Cheryl? You know I don't like it when you hang out with her. She's crazy.
She drinks
I bet you.
alcohol.
Oh, you guys are going to a club?
Yeah, it's like he sucks. How can you type this post and not be like, my lame baby boyfriend is a big shitbag.
It's a big baby boy.
Big baby boy shitbag.
Yeah. I mean, that's
it's
it,
bad.
right? Like, I think just generally, if someone is upset about, like, you should be able to, as an adult, be able to look at a situation and be like, this means nothing. This objectively, whether it's like, it doesn't have to be something as big as like a tattoo or bracelet. It could be you guys sharing a sweater that you guys pass around from month to month or whatever, right? Like
Sisterhood of the Traveling Sweater? That means a lot. How dare you say that means nothing? It's also maybe the harbinger of like another great disaster, and we need to know. So
yeah,
that's a deep cut from a different podcast, from a piece
different,
we didn't even air.
Yeah,
wonderful. But I will say the clues are there. The clues are there. Look into Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and if you solve our crazy theory, hit us up and we'll give you a point.
Our fucking, like, years from now, when people are searching for our hidden treasure, a la the Da Vinci Code, this is the first clue to get to like put it all together. If you should be able to recognize when something is a sweet gesture amongst your friends that is completely harmless, completely nothing in terms of like severity and impact to another relationship. You should be able to recognize that. And then if someone comes in and makes a big deal about that, you should be able to be like, this isn't a big deal. And if it is a big deal for you, then I don't think we're the right person, because I do plan on continuing to do significant gestures and symbolic gestures with the people that matter in my life. And I'm not going to look for permission to be like, hey,
Nor
me and
do
my
I have
yeah,
to.
me and my friends are going to go on a camping trip. It's like, is he going to freak out about that? Like, it's just,
Well, let me tell you, this isn't the only thing he's annoyed about. He's not like, oh, I love when you take trips with these guys. I love when you talk to them. I love when you spend time with them. This is just step one.
Yeah.
Or at least the one he feels most comfortable about, probably because he's like, oh, permanent. So I'm allowed to get annoyed about that. He's pissed when you hang out with them. He's pissed when you spend time with them. He's pissed that you guys are close. I know this.
and look, this is, as we've talked about before, gaslighting 101, manipulating 101 is to drive a wedge between the people that are important to you, to isolate you, to make sure that like you don't have any other support system other than him, and to see someone have such a significant relationship with someone to get a permanent bracelet is incredibly threatening to a man who only knows how to control people or to validate their love and affection through control. And that's,
Hey, are you ready for the update I found?
oh, I love it.
They had a talk, and he said, it isn't classy. It's the equivalent to having a tattoo in his point of view. He says it cheapens an engagement ring since I'm wearing something that connects me to somebody else. It's childish and immature, and if we were married, he would not want me wearing that and my ring. It would only have to be my ring. He said he would understand if I bought it for myself, but he doesn't get it's something two other people also have. He also said he didn't choose to date them, so why would I want to be like them? He says the body is very sacred and considers everything he puts on it and would want me to see it the same way. I honestly think he's reaching.
Yeah.
Not sure where to go from here, but the implications about why he doesn't like it feel bigger than what I was really thinking. No shit.
Yeah.
The body is sacred. I bet he puts gnarly stuff on his body.
I promise you this man is probably dressing in Walmart. Again, no shame to anyone who dresses in Walmart clothing, but you can't be like, my body is a temple and sacred, and only the finest materials can be put upon them. Like, no, dude, I promise you're buying the cheapest shit. And if you're not, you're a douchebag because you're thinking that only the most expensive shit is worth going on your body, which is also a stupid take. Like, there's no
also,
way
he thinks tattoos aren't classy. It's like, God, dude, like, come on. Like, no.
This guy is
Judge
the most
City over
white
here,
bread.
and not in a fun way.
He's not one of those cool judges.
Yeah. No, dump him. That's it. Like, fuck it. Don't even have a conversation with this guy. Dump him.
Get a tattoo that says, get a throat tattoo that just says, you dumped.
Get a permanent bracelet with him and then dump him.
Yeah.
Just to rub it in.
Get a permanent bracelet, except they're handcuffs, and lock him to a moving train. I know I did start this question being like, I don't think we should advocate for violence.
However,
I've changed my mind.
All right, hit me.
Okay, but I just said I'm not going to advocate for violence. What one did I say? Oh, this one. One World Ends 420 Kyle asks, Dick is constantly hard around my girlfriend. My girlfriend, a 19-year-old female, and I, a 22-year-old male, recently moved in together, and I've discovered a new problem. Every time we cuddle, my dick is really hard no matter how many times we had sex that day. The other day, we had sex like 3 times. I'm extremely tired, so I cuddle up next to her, and bam, rock solid again. She has a very high libido, mine is slightly high, so it matches, but I want to have intimate cuddle time without getting her horny and get my dick hard. I'm not horny every time it gets hard. I just can't seem to separate cuddles with sex. Help.
I get it.
Yeah, man. You're a 22-year-old man. You're lucky that a stiff breeze isn't giving you an erection.
Mm-hmm. I still find it hard to separate cuddles from boners.
It's very tough to have a person that you are sexually attracted to wiggle their little butt into you, and then you're like, well, okay. Like, I have no level of horny right now. I am quite tired, but this is nice.
I cannot count the amount of times I've been like, I'm so fucking tired. Like, it's just been a week. Like, we have a little time. Let's hop in bed. We'll do a little cuddle. We'll just rest. And then the second we cuddle, I'm like, suddenly not tired anymore in any way, shape, or form. It's fine. I would say the only problems are if, one, your dick begins to hurt from, like that dog that wagged his tail so much during the pandemic that it sprained its tail.
Yeah.
If that happens to you via dick, if you've
wagging
got COVID dog
tail, COVID
dog tail dick, and we got the title of the episode.
Yeah, there it is.
If you have COVID dog tail dick, that's a problem. You know what I mean? If you are like having sex when you don't want to just because your dick is hard, or if your partner feels like they have to have sex with you because your dick is hard, or if your partner's like really again and feels that you having a hard dick is like you pressuring her for sex or anything like that, then it's problems. But if it's just like, well, turned on
And
it's
look,
not painful or uncomfortable.
if you are cuddling and you don't actually want to have sex and you just happen to get hard, maybe like explain that to your partner. Be like, hey, look,
Yeah.
there are going to be times where I am cuddling you and I will get hard. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to have sex. Or, start the cuddle session off with being like, I'm very tired. Like I want to just
Yeah.
snug. And
It's a great way to practice communication and like setting expectations and just like being open and honest. Like I think you're fine.
yeah, you're good. And look, you guys are young. You've recently moved in together. You're in that beautiful honeymoon phase where it is like it's nice to know that it's like there all the time, and like you guys have the opportunity to like you don't have to booty call each other anymore, right? Like there's no sort of like waiting or anything. It's just kind of at a drop of a hat you could be doing it. So I have a feeling that it's probably going to like kind of level out a little bit in terms of novelty. But as you said, it's like, yeah, we're like, as a almost 40-year-old man, this is still a thing that happens to me. So like, it's fine.
You're good. Again, just once people aren't getting upset by it or giving the wrong impression, but if they are, perfect time to practice your communication skills and you're golden.
Yeah.
I don't know why it really tickled me. I thought you were going to say you're in this big, beautiful bed instead of beautiful honeymoon phase. And I don't know why. I was like, probably a shit bed, honestly. I had a terrible bed at 20.
Yeah. No, I've always had pretty decent beds.
Like small, though.
I mean, I've always had like at least a queen.
Damn, he a bougie boy.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess I did. Is it weird for a guy to not even try to get laid in the first date? Got home from a date last night and I dropped her off, brackets, after our first date. Yeah, we know. She texted me and said, well, clearly you weren't that into me. You didn't even try to get laid tonight. After being married to what I thought was the love of my life for 6 years and together for 8, I'm new on the dating market. I've been on dates with 4 different women. Clearly still relearning the ropes here and starting to think times may have changed rapidly in the 8 years I was off the market. On each first date, I never even tried to escalate things further, even if I am attracted to them sexually. Just want to get to know them better, let them know I'm not a creep just trying to get in their pants, and that I'm looking for something long-term. Fast forward to last night and take a girl out for our first date. Things are going well. At least I feel that they were. She was laughing a ton and seemed to be enjoying herself, and I enjoyed her company and felt strongly attracted to her. After we were done with dinner, I take her back to her apartment and said, hey, had a great time tonight. Let's do it again soon. She then texted me later that night and repeated she had a good time. I replied, I said, yeah, me too. Are you available this weekend? She said, whoa, wasn't expecting a follow-up date. Seemed like you weren't into me. When I asked why, she said, well, you weren't that into me. You didn't even try to get laid tonight. She then goes on to say it's usually the girl that controls when the sex happens. Now I feel like a total loser. Should have been getting laid in the first date.
I mean, I don't know if this is just a bad move on her part in terms of being like, I was ready to bone down. Like, I'm cool. Like, the next time we hang out, I would like to fuck you. And you're taking it too far. Or alternatively, it could be just like a really shitty passive aggressive woman
who like felt slighted.
Yeah, whose like, insecurity is rearing its ugly head here. I'm not sure
now,
which. Oh, okay.
There's a third option.
A third option.
Third option is he really dumb and missed all the hints. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you want to come? Like, can you drop me home or like come back to my apartment? Yeah, sure. You want to like come up and grab a cup of tea? No. I mean, really? You don't want to hang out?
Same.
No. Like I think there is a level of like if you're dropping hints that would commonly be known as hints, like if you're being a little coy but in a very standard sense, and then they're just like, no, that then if you're saying in code, hey, let's go bone, and they're just saying no, you could take it that way. There are times when people are being obvious, and if you're being oblivious, it comes off as rejection.
Sure, yes. But I don't know. I feel like if you repeatedly say like, hey, I had a great time, I'd like to do this again, you could still be like, okay, this guy's a fucking puppy dog who doesn't get it. I don't think, sure. Right? Like, I don't think it would be different if it was like he fucking rolled to a rolling stop and was just like, all right, have a good one. And just like kept going. Then I would understand. But like it seems like there was very obvious like communication of being like, I would like to do this again. So I don't think there's much surprise when he's like, hey.
I will say there is also a politeness thing of being like, this is great, we should do it again, that people will also say sometimes when it was not great and they shouldn't do it again.
Yeah, so that's true.
There's potential that happened.
I think
You know what I
just
mean?
across the board, I don't think you need to freak out about this, right?
No,
I think-
like if it went so well that someone is upset that you didn't try to make a move, then clearly you're fine. You know what I mean? Like things have gone well, and it might just be that this person's a little weird because it feels like they are overreacting.
I really do think you need to suss out the intention behind that message. If she's trying to make you feel bad or trying to guilt you or something, like trying to make you like feel less than a man or whatever,
Or-
right?
Even if she's upset or angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think that's fair.
No.
So, like, if she's being playful, wink, wink, nudge, nudge next time, great, cool. You get to have a fun banter being like, well, I won't make that mistake again. Or,
Yes.
like, you know, let me make it up to you. Great. Like, that could be good. But if she is actually kind of being shitty about this, that's red flag city.
I think that's it, right? Like that. I think you really need to sort of like test the waters and do a little poking and do a little testing to figure out what was the intention and how was she feeling and like how this message is supposed to be read. And if she's being shitty about it, I think you can be like, well, I don't really love that vibe. And like, I move at my own pace. And like, I don't think that any one person should be in control of
Yeah.
sex, right? Like
It's also kind of a toxic, like, women control, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, like, what's the, like, I don't know. I've seen people be like, it's cute that men think they have any input on whether they have sex in the first 3 dates. And it's like, well, they do.
yeah.
Because otherwise it is a crime.
Yeah, because it seems like and the toxic masculinity of the nature, and this is how sort of
Men
like
always want it,
Yes,
and
is that,
it's
like,
only
men
when a
want to
woman
have
finally
sex.
submits.
yeah. And it's like it's like men don't have any say whether we have sex or not. It's like, well, that's under the assumption that men are always wanting to have sex with you, and look, 9 times out of 10, you're probably correct, but
We've all seen the cuddle boners.
yeah, we know what we do. Yeah, I think if you send a playful text back and you're met with more sort of passive aggressive
Hostility.
some like insecure hostility, I think you could just be like, look, it's kind of weird that you're getting so hung up with the fact that we didn't hook up that I don't know if I want to pursue this, because if this is how you're going to be prior to sleeping with you, I don't really want to be walking on eggshells constantly, worried that I'm not doing what you think is societally normal, or that you think that you have all of the say in our sexual relationship.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound fun to me at all.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Although the whole, like, usually it's women who control, blah, blah, blah. Is she just upset that it didn't happen? Or again, is that pointing to her being like, hey, I did this and this and this, and you just didn't pick up on it?
Yeah, which is,
I don't know.
At the end of the day, it's like, I think you fire back a friendly, flirty, funny message about, maybe being like, well, next time if you want, we can start at your place and see where that goes and how that gets played. And if she's like, that sounds like a great idea, cool. Then I think
Have fun.
you're in the fun phase. If it's any other thing, being like, now I expect blah, then it's like, okay, you sound like you suck.
Yeah, I will say my only concerns about this never sleep with people on the first date, like, approach, which you're like, should I not? I say, one, do what you want. So if you want to continue to do this, totally fine. The caveats being, one, if you make it a rule for no reason, you know what I mean? If you're just like, oh, I really want to, but I made this rule, so I can't do it. That's dumb, because it's not a one size fits all. And you might be like not having the best date you could one day. You know what I mean? Two, if you aren't clear, you might leave people confused. You know what I mean? If you're really stepping back the physical nature and you're just like being so like unsexual that people are confused, which you don't have to sleep with someone to have it be clear that you're into them. But, I think just to make sure that you aren't giving kind of mixed messages or coming across a little too friendly, or not friendly, but you know what I mean? Not interested.
Yeah,
Platonic
having like a manufactured chasteness to your dates isn't gonna play well at all. Like, no one's gonna look at that and be like, oh, well, he was such a gentleman because he kept his hands. It's like, I think a lot of people would be like, are you into me? Are you like, what is your vibe right now? I'm having a hard time, because it's not genuine. Like, if you were if you were just acting the way that you act and that's just how you behave, great. But the second you start like projecting an attempt to appear something, then it's gonna come off as weird. Like anyone who's got any level of like bullshit detector, it's gonna start pinging, and it might not. They might not know why. They might be like, I don't know why you're being weird, but you're being weird, and it's negatively affecting my, attraction to you.
Life. And also, does that now mean date 2? You're like different Greg? Are you like, hey, let's bone? Like,
Then it becomes
you know what I mean?
horny
Like, how
Greg.
different? Yeah. How different is date 1 to date 2? Are you like, cool, I tick that box. No more Mr. Nice Greg. Like, does it get weird? And lastly, I can't remember what the last one was. Either way, those points stand. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think anyone's like, ugh. Or apart from this one person, oh, he didn't try to sleep with me. Like, you'll be fine. I just think don't make it a hard and fast rule to the detriment of how you're feeling. And on top of that, don't act in a way that isn't natural, and then don't switch it up date 2. And you know what I mean? And I think the last thing was just don't be oblivious and miss people's cues, right?
You're also operating under the guise that there is a universal truth in terms of how you should act on a date. Because he's like, oh, have the rules changed? There were never rules. There just wasn't, right? Like
we were dating 8 years ago, like in the single open market, and it's like
I was dating
nothing.
I was sleeping with almost everyone on a first date.
Yeah. So nothing has changed.
And it didn't take any like bamboozling. Like it was all very enthusiastic and usually like on their side or you know what I mean? Just like a very simple, like, you want to go back to my place? And it was like there wasn't, it wasn't like I was finding this like secret underground alternative subsection of women that wanted to have sex on the first date. It's like, did I run into some who were like, I don't really want to do it on the first date? Yes, of course. And that was great. That was fine. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But there was...
And sometimes there were times where it didn't, and then we went on to be great. Sometimes there were times where it did, and it didn't go any further.
Yeah.
Sometimes the complete opposite, where, there was never a rule, and this definitely hasn't changed. So stop being weird like that.
If anything, I imagine that like women are now more comfortable
Empowered.
having sex on a first date.
Well, clearly now they're angry that we're not.
Just do what you want to do. If the vibe of the date, if you guys are having incredible sexual chemistry and you're at one of your places and it seems like you both want to bone down, go bone down. Don't worry about external weird rules and societal, like, you think this is how it's supposed to be. Just do what you want. As long as everyone's consenting, everyone's happy, everyone's vibing. No one cares.
And on that same note, if you go on 5 dates in a row and all 5 of them are annoyed that you guys didn't hook up, but you didn't want to, and then on date 6 you still don't want to, don't do it just because 1 through 5 were like, why didn't you?
Yeah.
Right? Do what you want, do what you feel comfortable. It goes both ways, right? We're not saying you should or you shouldn't. We're just saying don't make weird decisions for weird reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like we talk about it a lot too, where sometimes people will hit you with the same sort of thing of like, oh, you can come up, but we're not going to have sex, and then get upset when you don't try to push and weasel your way into sex, and then they're like, well, you're obviously not interested because like that's
because you didn't do crimes.
We got this a lot in that sense. We never really got it. I didn't really get it from a whole lot of like, well, you didn't try to sleep with me, so it's usually like we would be in the position to have sex. They say they don't want to, so I wouldn't, and then I would get in shit for it. As Niall said, don't take that behavior as this is how it's supposed to be. Consent is always king. If someone says they don't want to have sex, and even though you got in trouble with the last 4 or 5 women for not trying to brute force your way into having sex, despite the fact that they said they didn't want to, and then reprimanded you for not doing it, this doesn't mean, this isn't like this is how the game is played, so the next time someone says they don't want to have sex, I'm just going to ignore that and try to convince them otherwise. No, if someone says they don't want to have sex, they don't want to have sex. And if they're playing a stupid game, that's their fucking fault.
Yeah, and they're going to win stupid prizes, i.e. nacho dick.
Yeah.
I will say,
prize of all.
The stupidest prize. I think on 2 occasions, I've had people be like, wow, like you obviously weren't into me, like you didn't make a move. And in both those cases, they were like giving off like terrified vibes. You know what I mean? Like where towards the end of the night, they're like rigid and like backing away. And I'm like, okay, like I'm not like, why would I do that? And like with one of them, I literally had to be like, yo, I was super into you. I thought we were having a really good time, but it was like anytime I got near you, you were like, woo. And I'm like, I got the picture. You were just giving the wrong picture.
Yeah.
And I would rather go and be like, it's a bummer that never happened than make you massively uncomfortable.
100%.
You know what I mean? And in one case, we went on another date now that we could actually communicate. In the other case, she had moved away and married someone with the exact same name as me.
Yeah, get replaced.
Which is weird.
Idiot.
There's not that many Niles out there.
I can think of at least 3.
Yeah, well, she married one of them.
Yeah.
She did. I don't think. I don't know.
I mean, it'd be
Who's the third Nile?
the third Nile was
never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
This comes from
One's Nile Horn, right?
one is Nile Horn, yes.
Yeah, okay. The second best Nile, some say.
Subtle throwaway is the poster of this question. My boyfriend prefers my mouth over my pussy. I don't know why he said that like John Mulaney, but
Keep going.
he told me this directly when I asked which he preferred. I know this isn't particularly a bad thing, but I kind of feel butthurt about this. Why? I don't know. I did ask a question, so I know I can't actually be mad at him. Anyways, any words of wisdom or advice to help me feel more positively / confident about this?
Why would you ask a question that you don't want to hear an honest answer to? That is a dumb thing to do.
I think this is a pandemic. This is an epidemic for everyone, right? Like, and I think the worst one of it is how many people have you slept with, right?
Yeah.
I think that is a question that everyone asks and then freaks the fuck out about the answer, because I don't think, I mean, unless you're like a piece of shit dude who wants to hear that this woman has never slept with anyone, or maybe like one person so that you're not fucking a virgin. But like, I don't think anyone is satisfied with the answer, right? Like,
yeah. And like, I think if you're going to ask a question like this, you got to think like, is there any way I come out of this happy? Right. And a lot of them, it's no. And if it is, do I come out of this happy? Is it, I only come out of this happy in one really specific circumstance?
yes,
And
like
then
a word for
really,
word verbatim answer that I require to hear.
I really love them both equally because you're amazing. Like, no, like, look, this doesn't matter. You asked a question you shouldn't have, and he gave you an answer. Guess what? One of those two things you control the process of way more than the other, right?
The pussy.
Unless you're like, yeah, no. If you're in like Kegel City and it's just been, you have just been Kegeling since the day you could Kegel, and you just have like ultra incredible, like instinctive control down there. And even then you don't have a free range appendage down there, I assume.
You don't
As
know.
opposed to,
Are you a doctor, Niall?
yes, I am.
Damn.
Since we started the show, we said
Niall
day
is
one,
secretly
I am
getting
not a
his-
professional. Well, guess what? I've gone and I've become, is there a tongue down there, though, doctor? And the answer, after 4 years of study, no.
Until there
Not
is.
mostly, not usually. Like one of them you control. You can control like suction, your lips, the speed, your tongue. Like you're doing
Noise.
so much more. Noise, eye contact. Like, there's a lot that you're doing. The other one is kind of just like, there you go.
This is why I'm glad you brought this up, because this is kind of why I wanted to bring the question. I knew we were going to talk about sort of like the don't ask questions you don't want the answer
Is there
to.
a tongue or not? Yeah.
Is there a tongue in a vagina or not?
No one knows, right? We've looked, but
We
we're
haven't
not sure.
found
What if
one
it's hiding? It could be
yet.
hiding around the corner.
We don't know what's around the corner. You know how there's like the classic,
knows.
the joke of like, oh, it's up your butt and around the corner. That came from the mystery of
Of the tongue. Where that
vaginal
tongue at, though?
corners.
Yeah. What that mouth do? We don't know.
But as Niall mentioned, I could not give you a accurate description, I think, of vaginal sex that I had with any partner in terms of it felt good.
Sure. That's a very good point,
Right?
actually.
Like I would not be able to be like, this one person had an incredible pussy and it blew my mind and changed. However, I can tell you about incredible blowjobs that I've gotten with a very specific level of detail.
Mm-hmm. So think of it this way. Look at what's the most famous song about, a vagina? WAP, right? It's mainly about how wet it is. It's not about her talent therein with it necessarily. It's about, wetness. Mine's just so wet, right? Not like I can work mine incredibly. However, what's the most famous song about blowjobs apart from Whistle by Flo Rida? It's Throat Goat. You can't be the vag boss.
I promise
No,
you
who cares?
that's not the most famous song about blowjobs.
Hey, Dane? It should be.
Yeah.
It should be.
There's
You
a lot
could
of
be
things
the
that
throat
should,
goat.
though.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm just like...
Proven.
I think if push came to shove, most people would say mouth over vagina.
It's also very possible that either two things have happened here. One, let's run through the list. One, it's true. Who cares? That's good. It's a compliment to you. Two, he thinks this is more of a compliment because it involves more work and more skill, and you're involved. And he's like, oh, I should, whatever. Three, it's more of a treat because you do the other stuff more because it's collaborative as opposed to oral, which is often like it's you are pleasuring me and like doesn't happen as often, right? So if it's a treat, maybe by definition, it is more exciting because it happens more rarely. Or he's playing a sneaky game to try to make it happen more by saying yes.
Or 4, he's got hole blindness and he doesn't know which is which.
Shit.
No idea.
And that it can be really dangerous because that's actually skewed a lot of our research, because then people go, I found a tongue. Lo and behold, there's no corners. It's a mouth.
That's what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
A lot of people are out there. A lot of people who suffer from hole blindness are like, guys, you keep saying there's no tongue.
Yeah.
But there is. I've found
every time I've looked in one,
every woman I've been with has had a tongue in their vagina. And then you have to be like, it's their mouth. And you're like, fuck.
And it's crazy because they don't have body blindness. They know it's a head. They just forget when they look at it.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
What the hell are we doing here?
I think this man is trying to compliment you. And even if he isn't trying, he still is. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's it, right? Like, you're thinking of one of the answers is better or worse. He's told you that he likes something that you do.
Yeah.
And just because, like, there's no difference
Also,
in, like, if you ask, like, what sex position would you rather have? Like, missionary or doggy? And someone's like, doggy. It's not like he's saying he doesn't want to look at me. And he's like, no, that's just the one he likes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Unless he's shitty. I don't know. Now, the thing is, would you have been okay with roles reverse? Or would you then be like, wow, like, he doesn't like when I go down on him? That thing I do and I put practice into and I have to blow. Like, probably. So don't ask these questions.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Or don't. Or
Right,
do.
ready?
Yeah.
Final question by Paradiddle Senior. What does it mean if a girl says I'm cute shit? She interested in me. I've known her a long time. I think it's a compliment. Just can't be too sure. Thanks and advice, guys, gals, and then like praying hands emoji.
Can never be too sure.
I have no idea.
Cute shit. I wish there was more context. Like, I want to be like country of origin. Could you use it in a sentence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like, is she saying,
you think you're cute, shithead?
Yeah.
I'm a cute shit.
I like there's a lot of ways that it could be used that I think, like, oh, you think you're being cute shit? Like, it's still weird. Like, I don't think, because like hot shit isn't typically.
Maybe he's just not hot.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because there's level, right? There's hot shit. There's pretty shit. There's cute shit.
There's handsome shit.
Yeah, I can't
but
answer this question.
Could tell? I can't answer it. It's a mystery, much like the old tongue enigma.
Yeah. But hey,
the best part is they do kind of answer it in the question. She's interested in me.
Well, who cares what she calls you? Well, I think you do should care a little bit of what she calls you.
Yeah.
Just start calling her cute shit back.
Yeah.
And then it's your weird.
If you say it back and she's like, what?
What the fuck did you say to me?
Were you trying to offend me this whole time?
Yeah.
But what if she's sexy shit, you know?
Well,
she's worried that she got downgraded.
That's a fun game to play in which you choose what you think she is. Do you think she's pretty? Do you think she's sexy? Do you think she's hot? Whatever, right? And then hit her with that. And then that could be your cute little couple thing, because every couple has like a weird thing that they call each other, right?
Hey, vivacious shit.
Hey, gorgeous shit.
Guys, we have a Patreon and you should join it because we're about to get into some real unhinged shit.
Yeah. Anytime we do a double record.
Not hot shit.
It gets weird.
Shit.
And I've been drinking.
Yep, Dane's been just pounding brews. It's very worrying.
But
this happens every time he has to look at my face.
I don't drink brews.
Okay.
Delicious, refreshing seltzers.
But guys, we have a lot of stuff over there. We got some deep dives. We got some movie reviews. We got some normal episodes. And by normal, I mean slightly unhinged and also rare that you cannot find elsewhere.
Yeah.
We love you. Please go support us over there if you want the show to keep on going. Come to our show if you can. Thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvest Seeds, for your song Paper Stars. And are you ready for some slightly long bad sex writing?
I guess.
This is a series of posts that someone sent to someone they just matched with on Tinder. There has not been a reply, and there's an hour and 20-minute gap between the first batch and the second. So when I say gap, you're skipping forward in time an hour and 20 minutes. I'm not sure what you necessarily are looking for, but I'd love to bend you over and really stretch you out. Multiple rounds of it. You're so hot. I prefer to also not pull out. If that's not what you're looking for, I am so sorry. Gap. I'd love to have my hands around your hips as we kiss, stroke one through that lovely hair of yours, while the other reaches around that peach emoji, eventually to playing with your cat emoji, getting it to be as drenched as Niagara Falls, putting you on your side, one leg up above mine, while I slide in so our eyes are in contact with one another. I get to see the side of your boobs bouncing. After I come, having you get into doggy so I can absolutely hard as fuck. When I have you in the doggy position, I want to pull that hair just enough to see your neck. Watch it vibrate while you moan. I want both to do this while your ass in the air and while you're flat in your stomach. When I make a creme pie, I hope you'll tell me to lay down so you can ride me with your hips twisting, looking into my eyes, kissing me while you feel more seeds erupt inside you, saying, damn, you actually came through. And yes, I did read them as spelled.
Yeah. I mean,
unless I should be calling it a creme brulee this whole time.
Yeah.
Creme pie.
A creme pie.
Your seeds are erupte.
Look, I don't know who needs to hear this, and I'm talking mostly to men, but I've had women say this before too to me. Nobody wants to hear you say the word seed in relation to ejaculate.
Mm-hmm. Especially not in this case, seeds.
Yeah.
That's just bad.
Like, unless you're doing old-timey sort of Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin role play.
So, just real quick, it's fiction. It's not old-timey.
What?
It's fiction.
Yeah, but it happened a long time ago.
No.
I could write World War II fiction. It still happened back then. Idiot.
True. I can't argue with that.
You dumb bitch.
The dragon scars are still...
I just erupted my seed knowledge all over your brain.
Erupted.
Yeah, your brain just got creme pied. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain.
And we've been your fuck buddies.